This was going to be the hardest day of the Alta Via one. Over 26 kilometers of trail, more than 1100 meters of elevation, 2 breakfasts, 1 adrenaline-fueled thunderstorm, and a cold coffee for breakfast. I left Rifugio Dibona at 5:30 am with a stiff back and blind optimism. The forecast, blue skies, followed by rumbling doom. But with the trail stretching endlessly ahead, legs already protesting and thunder threatening to crash the party, the real question was, would I make it to Rifugio Staulanza or become a dramatic mountaintop statistic? I was about to find out. I woke up in the dark somewhere around 5 am, not because I'm a morning person, but because I had over 26 kilometers ahead of me and apparently a storm in the afternoon menu. Rifugio Dibona was quiet. Everyone else was still cocooned in their sleeping bags while I was outside. The air was cool, the sky was perfectly clear, and for a moment everything felt still. Just me, the mountains, and the crunch of my boots on the gravel.
Morning, day 4 of the Alta Via 1. It's an early start for me this morning. It's now about 5:30. The reason, it's my longest day. It's going to be over 25 kilometers. I think about 1400 meters elevation gain, so it's going to be a long day. So giving myself some extra time. But it's actually pretty amazing being up this early. No other people. It rained out last night, so it's nice clear skies right now. Beautiful views. Yeah, I think it's worth it even having to have such a basic breakfast. Shame that the Rifugio was put together for me. But yeah, cold coffee and some bread and cheese basically. So, but this is why you're here for the breakfast, right? Dinner last night was very good. I think it's probably the best dinner I've had so far. But yeah, I got stuck into a room share with a nice old man, Italian old man, but wow. Beds were making a lot of noise, he was snoring, so it wasn't the greatest. So not the best sleep. But otherwise, I mean, showers were good, clean bathrooms, nice restaurant, beautiful views. It rained a lot last night, a big thunderstorm came through. Anyway, I've got a lot of hours to walk today and looking forward to it. Day 4, let's do this. Gosh, what a beautiful morning. I can even hear the birds waking up. Stunning. Oh, the sun through the trees. Nice little forested section, a little bit of steep downhill. Yeah, great start to the morning. Soon I'll be reaching the big uphill, and then it's going to be a couple of hours of just up. It's going to be fun.
The first hour was quite gentle, a flat forest trail and birdsong. That kind of peaceful makes you forget you're about to be physically dismantled by a mountain pass.
Wow, this is so strange. I haven't seen an actual road in like 3.5 days. There we go, the road. That probably means it's the start of the climb coming up soon. So let me get prepared. It's now not even 7 o'clock yet, so people haven't even started doing breakfast. So yeah, making pretty good time. Let's do this.
But all peaceful things must come to an end. Around 7 a.m. I hit a paved road and spotted the sign Parco Natural delle Dolomiti de Ampezzo, which translated loosely meaning here comes the uphill. The gradient started sneaking in. Nothing too crazy at first. I was moving well, breathing steady. Confidence 8 out of 10. Knees 10 out of 10. Breakfast satisfaction still 1 out of 10. Then the trees opened up and bam, those classic Dolomite views just punched me in the face. Jagged peaks on all sides, golden morning light pouring over everything like I was walking through a desktop wallpaper. Then, out of nowhere, there was Rifugio Cinque Torri, perched just behind the legendary towers he's named after. Absolutely picture perfect. I rounded the corner and thought, yeah, I earned a second breakfast. Inside, coffee, hot this time, a slab of cake and a Coke. I wasn't messing around. This was breakfast number 2, and emotionally, I needed this. This is also a great spot for day hikers. You can reach it by trail or gondola. Yep, there's a gondola not far from here. I glanced at it lovingly and thought to myself, why did I not use this? Fueled by sugar and caffeine, I left Cinque Torri behind and started climbing again. This time towards Rifugio Averau, perched even higher like some kind of mountaintop mirage. The path was steeper now, the kind of steep that makes you question your life choices and wonder if you really needed that Coke. I was panting, sweating, grinning, because the views were just getting outrageous. Like every 10 steps I had to stop and whisper, you gotta be kidding me, right? And just when my legs were about to file an official complaint, boom, there it was, Rifugio Averau. This place is known for its food, I mean really known. I wasn't going to test that too hard though, just a light second breakfast, some cookies, another coffee, and yeah, you guessed it, another Coke. Honestly, I could have stayed here all day, but Thunderclouds don't care about your biscotti break, so off I went. Apparently this is also a very nice stop on the AV1, so if you can book this Rifugio and it fits into your schedule, do it.
Well, there we go, biggest climb of the day done. At Rifugio Averau, I think it's called. Just went past the Cinque Torri region. It's beautiful mountains surrounded. There's also a gondola up here, so if you want to have a quicker way up here, that's a good way to go. A couple of refugios up here and also a couple of lunch spots, so I'll grab a cup of coffee and then move on.
From here, the trail did something a bit unexpected. It went down. like steep and technical and should I have brought climbing gear kind of down. It was the first time on the trip I actually felt nervous. Loose gravel, jagged rock, tiny switchbacks and a sheer drop on one side. No fences, no warning signs, just your own common sense and hopefully trekking poles. This was not the time for clumsy ankles. I didn't film much here, not because I didn't want to, but because I couldn't risk becoming a YouTube fall sensation. One slip and it would have been a very different kind of viral video. Eventually it started to level out again. My breathing normalized, I unclenched my entire body, I was back in flow. After surviving the sketchy descent and regaining full control of my legs, the trail began to widen and flatten. I started seeing more people, families, day hikers, clean socks. Civilization was creeping back in. And then, like a movie set revealing behind the curtain, I arrived at Passo Giau.
That was quite a technical section. Very, very slippery and very rocky. No real path at some points. So after Averau, just watch your step. It's a bit technical, go slow, take care of yourself. It's getting quite hot now. It's after 11 o'clock. And I see another busy spot in front here. Maybe it's time for an early lunch. Not sure how many other spots I'll have. So let's take a break quickly, have a quick sandwich and something to drink, and then motor on. Beautiful though. Jeez, look at that.
This place is famous for a reason. The views are just absurd. Towering peaks in every direction. The light hitting the grass like it's been pre-approved by Hollywood. It was around midday and the scene was buzzing. Hikers, bikers, photographers setting up tripods like they were prepping for a National Geographic shoot. And there I was, sweaty, tired, and oddly hungry again. So naturally I did what every hiker does after over 15 kilometers. I got a cake and yeah, another Coke. Fast forward almost a week later, I came back to Passo Giau by car, exploring with the neta, and realized something wild. I've actually already been here. I'd already sat on this exact table, eaten the same cake, had the same Coke, full on deja vu, but in hiking boots.
So funny. Almost a week ago, I think on day 4 of the Alta Via, I actually walked past here and stopped at this Rifugio to have a quick lunch in the shade. And we stopped now to look at Passo Giau and marvel at all the nice scenery, and actually walked right past it the other day. So anyway, pretty cool. Anyway, get to see it in a different angle and a different light and a bit more relaxed. So very nice.
Leaving Passo Giau behind, the crowds thinned out. The road noise faded with just me and the mountains again. The trail lulled me into a relatively gentle start. Rolling green hills, silence, a few birds chirping. I started thinking, maybe this day won't be that bad after all. Famous last thoughts, because then came another massive cloud. My legs were already toast. I'd already hiked close to 20 kilometers by now.
Whew, another beautiful day, my goodness. Just a pity I'm rushing and not spending more time in this area. But there's a bit of a thunderstorm behind me. I'm just ahead of it. So seeing if I can push through another 1.5 to 2 hours and see if I can make it. If I can make it to Staulanza, Rifugio. But it's been an amazing day, so beautiful. A couple of nice pit stops. But yeah, it's a long day. Probably about 18-19 kilometers in now, so another 6 kilometers or so to go. So at least the major hills are done, so it's mostly downhill from now. So let's see how it goes, see if I can stay ahead of this thunderstorm behind me. Otherwise rain gear. Around 3 o'clock I think they had a forecast of heavy rain coming down, so but ahead of me is some blue sky, so see if I can make it there.
And that's when I heard it, thunder, far off but getting closer. So I started power hiking. I was alone on the trail again, checking the sky every 30 seconds, willing my legs to move faster. And like a miracle, boom, the Rifugio appeared through the trees, not a mirage, not the rock-shaped coffee shop, a real glorious mountain hut. I basically sprinted in with a few other soaked hikers and collapsed into the nearest chair. My reward? A hot meal, cold beer, and 45 minutes of thunder rumbling around while we all bonded in soggy solidarity. Once the storm passed and settled for the final leg, about 3 kilometers to go. And then, like an oasis with espresso and heating, Rifugio Staulanza appeared through the trees, a beacon of warmth, the promise of clean socks. Except my body, completely done. My legs were two tired tree trunks, my shoulders were in open rebellion, even my trekking poles seemed annoyed. I dropped my bag like it was a bad habit and sank into a chair on the terrace. Dinner that night, a 3-course masterpiece. Pasta so good it felt illegal. I even splurged on laundry because frankly my socks had started to grow personalities.
Wow, the day 4 is done, the long one. 26 kilometers later, almost 10 hours. It was a long day. It's good I started early. I was trying to outrun a storm. Did not work. Luckily there was a Rifugio there quite close. So yeah, the lightning started hitting and the thunderstorm started hitting all over the place. So everyone just ducked into the Rifugio and tried to, stay away. So I spent there for 45 minutes just waiting for the worst to pass, and then made my way the last 3 kilometers to Staulanza, Rifugio Staulanza. It's right next to a road, so not as remote as some of the other ones, but still has some beautiful views of mountains, so pretty good. There's some nice services, get some laundry done, and then you have saunas and wellness centers and hot tubs and all these kind of things. So yeah, it's a pretty good stop. Tomorrow I'll make my way to Vazoler. So probably going to be about a 16-17 kilometer hike tomorrow. A little bit shorter than today. My legs are feeling it. But yeah, it's an incredible day. I wish I had more time to enjoy the views, but yeah, the storm came in. I had to rush it a little bit. But yeah, what an amazing trip. Alta Via 1, day 4 wrap.
As I lay in bed that night, full, warm and finally dry, I kept thinking about everything that happened in just one day. The peaceful forest at sunrise, the thrill of Cinque Torri, the cookies at Averau, the sheer panic of a thunderstorm cracking over right above me, and the quiet victory of finally reaching Staulanza. It was exhausting, uncomfortable and honestly, pretty epic. I've started to realize something out here. The moments you remember most aren't the ones where everything went right. They're the ones that kept you going anyway, even when you were soaked, sore and seconds from quitting. And today was one of those days. Thanks for hiking with me today. If you made it this far, you're a legend. If your legs are sore just watching this video, smash that like button. And hey, would you rather bake hiking in the sun or dodge a thunderstorm mid-hike? Let me know in the comments. I need to know who else enjoys this kind of type 2 fun. See you in day 5. It only gets more epic from here. Until next time, keep exploring.